Good afternoon, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is July the 16th, 2025, and today the topic is the pursuit of righteousness. Happy Wednesday. It's Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful Tuesday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. Man, my highlights from yesterday. Y'all, it was kind of a low-key day for me. After I got off with y'all, me and my brother stayed on the phone for about 4 hours, y'all. Because that's how we do, right? Next thing I know, I was getting ready because me and hubby had a little date night last night and everything like that. So when he got from work, we went to have some po' boys and whatnot, and played some pool and threw some darts and just had a good little night out with just us. And yeah, came on back home and went to sleep pretty much. And hey, it's a brand new day. And I was up for a while. I did not make a note of the time I woke up. I did wake up to an interesting dream, so that was interesting. But then I woke up to some other stuff. And I'm over here like, oh Lord. Now, on one hand, I feel like it's just another little test. You know what I'm saying? Another little spiritual warfare. Put it along those lines. And I would say all of that, everything I thought about this morning, everything that I was reflecting on, yes, the dream and stuff like that. All of these things led me to this conversation about the pursuit of righteousness, right? So hopefully this will encourage and inspire you, whoever you are listening to the sound of my voice. Let's get into it. Okay, so the definition of righteousness says the quality of being morally right or justifiable. That sounds good, but y'all know how to go find the biblical definition. And so this is what that said. It says being in right standing with God, in position and practice. So in position is through Christ, and then and practice is through obedience. So yeah. How many of us can raise our hands and tell the truth that it's not easy, right? Being in the pursuit of righteousness. Now, the pursuit of happiness is probably not that hard, right? That's what we all be trying to strive for, like to be happy, right? But to be righteous, that's a whole nother thing. I think again with things I've been going through and whatnot, I had to pursue righteousness. There was temptation, right, to like pursue happiness. Look at the Lord. Look at the Lord using this thing now. There was potential and temptation to pursue happiness, right? But your girl had to pursue righteousness, and so I'm over here trying to encourage and inspire you to do the same thing. Like again, you might not always be happy. But will you be righteous, right? Can you be righteous at the end of the day? Can you understand that again? The joy of the Lord is greater than our quote unquote happiness that we hold on to and things like that. I'm gonna keep going, but yeah, man, this is what we're talking about here, man. This is the start of this conversation. All right. So here are the verses I felt led to write down this morning. The first one was 1 Timothy 6:11. It says, "But thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness." That sounds good, you know what I'm saying? But do we want to do that all the time? No, right? I'll be completely honest. I even went a little bit deeper to see, like, what was the verse before that. And so it was talking about the love of money and stuff like that. So I felt like just focusing on this particular verse because I feel like just focusing on this kind of fits it for anything, right? Anything you may be going through. I feel like the Lord is telling us today, right, to flee those things, right? Flee those temptations, flee those things, and then follow after righteousness and all the good things, like he said here: godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. Shout out to my brother Kelvin, man. So he hit me up today, like a little bit before I'm going live now, and he sent me it was this video of this gentleman worshiping in Israel. Has a beautiful voice. He was singing in this church. He had sent me that video like right in the midst of me like stewing through all the stuff I was thinking about this morning. And I was like, brother, you my guardian angel. I know it. He was like, and then he sent me something else to ponder on. And I was thinking about that, but then he's like, "You want to talk?" I'm like, "Oh Lord!" I was like, "You just said you had to work, bro. Like, you ain't got to talk to me, man." But we decided to talk anyway. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, you need some accountability, right? I put myself out there as an accountability coach as well. Sometimes look, coaches need coaches, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Kelvin being that individual to me today to again help me, focus on righteousness, right? And things of that nature. Help hold me accountable, all that good stuff. Because people be humans out here. I'm a human at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? And so I get tempted just like everybody else, right? I get stumbling blocks right in my way just like everybody else. And so it's good to have that accountability. It's good to have somebody that's going, like they say, iron sharpening iron. Someone that's going to like point you in the right direction versus being like, "Oh yeah, girl, go on and do that thing," you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So I don't know if y'all need somebody like that in your life. If you don't have, I mean, I guess I'm volunteering a tribute if you need somebody like that, and stuff like that. And I'm being open and honest to say, hey, every now and then I need somebody like that too. But with that being said, again, like the goal, right, is to pursue righteousness, right? Look, to be in right standing with the Lord, regardless of anything else. It's so interesting. So earlier this week, I mean, obviously, well, Sunday and Monday, because I taught both days. We were talking to the children about like forgiveness and things like that, and and basically talking about how David made that promise to Jonathan to basically always take care of him or his family, or whatever. And so, you know, so David took the time to, bless Jonathan's son and uphold Saul's lineage, right? Even though, we all know what Saul did and everything like that. And so, forgiveness, right? Upholding your promises, right? That's what I'm reminded of in this particular moment. And again, shout out to accountability. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to even I sent a little message to my therapist as well. I was like, "Girl, listen, I know the other day we talked and everything was cool, but look, this right here just look real, this little ugly head. I'm just letting you know." And again, these are things that help me, right, hold myself accountable, to like uphold my promises, right? To pursue righteousness and things like that. Let me shout out to Miss Angela Knapp, tuning in. Look, Angela Knapp in the building. Greatly appreciate you, man. Look, you tuning in almost every day like my mama and Mr. Ewan used to do. Shout out to them as well. But yeah, man, let's keep going. So I got another verse. It's 2 Timothy 2:22. It says, "So flee youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart." At the end of the day, like, I know that is more beneficial, right? For me, just across the board, to like just keep looking at the Lord, like keep my eyes focused on the Lord, keep my promise to Him, right? To be the woman of God that He created me to be, things of that nature, rather than again allowing my flesh, right, or anything else to get me off track of that. I mean, I guess my thing is, and I can get deep into some of this stuff because I done talked about some of this before with y'all, but I don't know if I feel led to go deeper in regards to details at the moment, but I'll just say in general, like when I look at again my life, when I look at my marriage, when I look at being a mother, when I look at the platform that the Lord has blessed me with at GSL, like for me to fall short, yes, okay, we all sin and fall short, right? But I feel like there's a heavier weight on someone like me, right? Because at the end of the day, the Lord has blessed me, right, with the opportunity to be able to speak to people, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to like pour into people's lives and things like that. And so it wouldn't be beneficial for me to be intentional about falling short, you know what I'm saying? Or put myself in situations that would later be exposed and then make somebody else stumble because Miracle, we thought you was righteous, you know what I'm saying? We thought you was a woman of God, like we thought you was, now again, none of us ain't Jesus the Christ, right? None of us ain't perfect out here, but what I'm saying is that there comes responsibility with quote unquote leadership, right? And so I hope that is encouraging somebody else today. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in some type of leadership position, whatever it might be. I know we had that conversation about that cop. What was it last week? That he got exposed. You know, in a compromising position. You supposed to been arresting somebody. And obviously she talked you into the back seat with her, and we don't know what happened because you turned the cameras off. But we know that people had to let you out because you got locked in. You know, the back seat with her. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Like there's going to be probably a greater, you know, accountability for him, right? It being in the position of cop, you know, than some regular civilian. You know what I'm saying? Some regular civilian getting caught in the back. You know, see, I mean, sure, it'll still be bad, especially if they got some type of you know, covenant like a marriage or something like that. But I mean, it's not that bad, you know, in regards to like a regular citizen, like you're not a cop or something like that, but you're supposed to be on duty, right? You're supposed to keep that camera on. You're supposed to just arrest this person and take them to wherever you was taking them. But instead, you in the back seat with them locked in the car. This is just examples, friends, of what it looks like and how this plays out in real life. But I hope that I guess the exposure of this nature would deter us, right, from making those type of decisions, right? Like, I mean, we probably go on and on about that, but I'm going to give you guys another Bible verse. Matthew 5:6. It says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied." At the end of the day, like, you know, again, as I was on my little journey this morning, just seeking the Lord about all the things and just going through my little process and stuff. One of the beautiful things I will say is just taking that time with the Lord to say, okay, Lord, you know, I know that things happen for a reason, right? I know that, you know, and even when he put, you know, the pursuit of righteousness on my heart and mind throughout these hours that I was up, you know, again, I was like, okay, Lord, the pursuit of righteousness, got it. You know, I know we talking about that today, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, also trying to figure out, did that have something to do with the dream that I had? Like, you know, even the stuff that I woke up to this morning, like, well, what is all this? Like, what are you saying to me overall? And the beautiful thing is, like, even as I kind of struggled with, like, other ideas, one of the things that stood out to me that encouraged me was knowing that I was his at the end of the day, knowing that I am the Lord's at the end of the day, and that he loves me unconditionally, right? That he pursues after me. And matter of fact, even in those times when I doubt, right, about you know, maybe again different situations or whatever, I can't help but think about the Lord to say, man, Lord, this is must be how you feel when we deny you, when we you know, neglect you, when we you know, act like you're not there and things like that. You must feel like this way times a million. And then even though, you know, obviously, you know, the enemy gonna try to use little things that, you know, to try to throw you off because so at one point, this little thought crossed my mind, like, oh well, you know, why would God choose you out of all the people that he created or whatever the case may be? But knowing deep down, like, that's a lie, and he did. Like, he chose me, right? He created me, and he loves me, and I am his, and because of that, right, I'm gonna pursue righteousness, right, so I could be able to do what he done called me to do, right? And so these are just things again that has been crossing my mind, and I just love to see how the Lord just bring all these things together. Look, there's so much joy, right, in this moment, sitting here talking to y'all right now, even with the frustrations and the things that was trying, right, to come our way this morning. But I'm grateful, right? I'm grateful to have pursued righteousness in my own little life and situation. And I'm grateful to be able to share it today to hopefully encourage you and inspire you. So how can we do this, right? I got a few verses that we can take a look at. Well, I was going to tell y'all about the Go Deeper section. I just got Isaiah 51. If you guys want to reflect on that, you know, you can peruse it, let it marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But here are 5 steps, friends, 5 steps for us to pursue righteousness. Step 1 is to surrender before you strive. Matter of fact, like when you wake up in the morning, just surrender to the Lord already. You know what I mean? Maybe I should have did that. Like when I opened my eyes, like I don't even know. I feel like, I mean, I did because I think one of the first things I did was like try to write that dream down because I told y'all I've been on this journey. Like when I have dreams and I can remember them, I try to go ahead and document so I can, you know, try to start interpreting and things like that. And then like right after I did that, I took a little pause and I started looking elsewhere. And next thing I know, I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I don't know. Maybe before I made the start writing down the dream, maybe I should just surrender to the Lord. Hey Lord, good morning. You know, look. I surrender all, whatever the case may be. Like we might need to get that and practice doing that. But yeah, surrendering before you strive is step one. Step two is to stay rooted in God's word. Like at the end of the day, that's one of the beautiful things about this journey that I've been on. Like my dreams, I'm like, okay, biblical wisdom, how can I go deeper about, what the Lord is saying to me about the dream? You know what I'm saying? Same with any other thing. I'm over here like, okay, Lord, like I know there must be some wisdom in this. Like, okay, this may be happening for a reason, that may be happening for this reason. So Lord, help me to see what you want me to know about this or that, right? Staying rooted in God's word is just one of those, again, important things to do, right? Another step for us. Step three is to guard your gates, y'all. Okay, that means your eyes, your ears, and your thoughts. Look, do we know that our own thoughts can be our stumbling block sometimes? Oh, yes, they can. And so, yeah, let's guard all of those things, right? I'm not gonna say that's the easiest thing to do. Sometimes you just be, walking down the street and you might see something, right? Or maybe somebody's listening to something that's Y and Z. Again, the enemy will try to use any little thing to weasel himself into you and your life, right? But you need to guard those things, and I guess when that happens, right, let's go ahead and humble that to the Lord and present that to the Lord, because He know you at the end of the day. That's the other beautiful thing as well. As I was reflecting on all the things, I'm like, well, you know what, Lord, at the end of the day, you made me. And so I'm just humbling all these things to you at the end of the day. And I'm not going to be ashamed, right, that I, am a human and things like that. And I appreciate, right, being able to just take the moment and just, again, be able to humble myself to Him, open my eyes to what He was saying to me, to be able to come here and share today. And then also just to be on the other side, right? Be on the other side of the, again, pursuit of righteousness, right? Not happiness, but righteousness. Let me give you guys another step. What was it? Choose obedience over emotion. Oh my goodness. It's so easy to get emotional, right? We can stay in our feelings, right? And things like that. It was so funny. I kept when I was talking to Kelvin about all this stuff, I was like, bro, like, I'm not even mad about the situations. Like, and I'm like, and I've been saying it. It's just that the thought of the issue, you know what I'm saying, it was making me frustrated, you know what I'm saying, or just the process of processing it, sometimes like those things, again, if you stay on those emotions, then it's easy for the enemy to use that to get in whatever the situation may be for you. Like I said, I can give my examples about what it is for me, but I just kind of want to keep it general because I just want this to fit whatever you're going through. If you stay emotional about that thing, then you're not going to be seeking the Lord, right? You're not going to be in the word about it. You're going to be in your feelings about it. And then that's not a good place to be, like, because then again, you feeling alone. You feeling like you're the only one that feels the way you do. You making rash decisions that probably ain't going to benefit you or your life or your future. So it's just one of those things that it's like, again, it's telling us here, what was it? To choose obedience over emotion. We gotta, again, humble these things to the Lord, be obedient to the Lord at the end of the day. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's possible. You can't do it. And then if you're trying to pursue righteousness, then you will. I think the last thing I have for you guys as a little tip thing to do is to stay accountable and real. Look, when we be trying to put the mask on and act like we just so perfect and stuff like that, I mean, look, at the end of the day, if y'all don't see nothing else on the GSF platform, y'all see me be open, honest, and transparent about me, about my life, about like, hey, I am not perfect out here. At the end of the day, I'm just human, just like everybody else. And, I'm just trying my best, right, to live righteously, right, and things like that. But so being real, I feel like there's so much to that. Like, because one, people can relate to it. I hope that you guys are relating to me and my testimonies as I share them with you guys, because I'm being like, hey, it's being open and honest about the ups and downs. Like, yes, being on this side and being a Christian and being a believer and trusting in Jesus and everything like that, it's a beautiful, wonderful experience. And I love going to sleep, having these dreams. I love waking up, figuring out what the Lord's saying to me today, and I love being able to come and share it. But at the end of the day, am I still human? Am I still flawed? Is there still potential, right, for the enemy to come on in and try to use me or whatever the case may be? Sure, yes. Why? Because we are in this fallen world. But that other part, look, being accountable. See, look, shout out to everything the Lord had me to do this morning. Because like even with my brother hitting me up out the blue. I'm like, hold me accountable, bro. Me sending a message to my therapist instead of sending other messages. Hey, again, accountability. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying at the end of the day, like here's some practical things for you. I hope that you guys will, start incorporating them in your life, especially if you want to pursue righteousness, because that's the juice. That is pretty much the juice. I mean, I think I have one more quote to share with you guys about it. And it pretty much says the pursuit of righteousness carries weight. It's a lifestyle, a mindset, and a daily decision to choose what's holy over what's easy. That's the juice, y'all. I think that's the juice right there. Now, the Bible verse of today is Luke 9:23 and 24. It says, and he said to them all, if any man will come after, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. Let me go see. Miss Angela Knapp gave us another little comment here. Let's see what she got going on. She says, sometimes I have a thought or something slips out of my mouth and I automatically think I am in trouble. Well, listen, at the end of the day, the Lord knows, you, he knows your heart. And, I'm sure that if you feel accountable or if you feel conviction, right, from that thought or that thing that slipped out of your mouth, then you still on the right side, right, sister? Because look, when you at the place where you don't feel no conviction, or if you feel like, you don't feel no remorse or things like that, then, hey, that lets you know that your heart has become hard to the Lord and things like that. So I hope that can be encouraging to you to know that, hey, at the end of the day, sounds like you're still on a good path and stuff. So don't get discouraged about that. I mean, we all look sin and falling short one way or another. And so, no judgment from me, at least, about, you slipping your other tongue or slipping in your thoughts and stuff like that. Because look, we know thoughts, man, look. Yeah, look, obviously y'all know a little bit about my thoughts if y'all here. But I mean, and that could get to be a lot, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. She says it is. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad to be of assistance today. Yeah, y'all. Look, I don't think I can go deep about all the stuff from today, this morning. I can't even remember what time I woke up at. It had to have been before 6, whatever time it was. But I said, first I was just thinking about the dream, like, ooh, what is this dream about? And then after that, seeing the other stuff I saw, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then just being frustrated about, like, this be the stuff, But it's all good, man. It's all good. Shout out to my accountability partners, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my friends, things like that. All right. Well, look, are y'all good? Look, y'all need anything from your girl while I'm here? Questions, comments, or concerns? I give you all, look, I can end at 25 if there's no questions, comments, or concerns. But yeah, today's probably gonna be kind of low key. Maybe I'll be able to actually chill because I didn't necessarily rest yesterday. Well, I slept late, but me and Kobe talked on the phone for we was on the phone for at least 4 hours. So the time that he was on with y'all, and then afterwards, by the time I got the phone, it said 4 hours. So after that, I went and got ready and, like I said, went on a little date night situation, which, look, keep praying for me and my husband, you know what I'm saying? And date night, that's the second one in a long time. So, we trying to be more intentional about that, you know what I'm saying? Look, pray our strength in the Lord, And all right, well, I won't sit here and be long y'all's time. I'll let y'all go. Y'all have a wonderful day. And yes, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye.